Hello everybody, today I'm actually going to be reviewing a stylus from the company ABIDA, and I did some test runs with it already just to kind of see how it functioned and to see if it would connect with my iPad, and I was surprised to see that you actually don't need Bluetooth to connect this, unlike an Apple Pencil or like a Wacom bamboo stylus, if you know what I mean by those. So let's just jump in and see actually how. Okay, so first things first, this is the pen actually, and I have my camera a bit low so you can't really see how long it is, but I'd say it's a good like 5 inches maybe. But yeah, so it's very compact, very comfortable to hold. And what I really like about this stylus is that it's actually shaped like a pencil, and it has a little clip at the end of it so that you can actually secure it better than like other types of styluses, I don't know. Like my Apple Pencil, when I got it, it was only just this sleek plastic glossy tube of white, and it didn't hold on to anything, and it was so insecure, and it kept falling out of my case. It kept just slipping and sliding everywhere, and I know it has the magnetic bit at the bottom, but that's still just very small security there. It's not good. It functions well, it's just very easy to lose it, and I'm glad with this one I could just clip it to my case and it would be a lot more secure that way. Now let's actually see how the stylus functions. I'm going to be using some of my own brushes for this, so yeah. Alright, so immediately I'm seeing that this doesn't have any pen pressure and it's actually just a stylus. Now let's get a different brush to show you guys the effects it has. So I'm using the basic airbrushing hard brush for this, and as you can see it's not changing shape, it's not changing dimension or depth. Yeah, there's no pen pressure to the pen itself, which in my opinion is a bit disappointing, but honestly I don't really rely on pen pressure that much because I do more illustrative stuff. So the only thing that I really need to care about is whether or not, I only have to care about the functions that are actually in Procreate and not about the pen pressure itself. But still, it's a little bit disappointing that it doesn't have pen pressure. And I know that's very difficult to put into a device without having it be required to connect through Bluetooth. But still, it's advertised as an art, like a digital art stylus, but it's lacking one of those key features of what makes it suitable for digital art, which is pen pressure. I'm going to try to draw something with this and see how far I can go with it. Alright, so as you can see, it's very messy, very rough. But honestly, the lack of pen pressure doesn't bother me that much, because I usually do these very quick little sketchy things in Procreate regardless. Though I can see why with like other artists it would bother them to not have pen pressure. And in all honesty, I still have my Apple Pencil, so I might use that more for my iPad. But I also have a phone that has the capability to be drawn on, so I'm going to see how it functions on that. Alright, this is my phone that I have, and it's an LG Stylo 5, so it already has a stylus that comes with it, but it's really, really hard to get out, especially with me who has very, very small fingernails, so I have to like get down in there and like scrape it out. So I think this pen would help me more with doing art on my phone rather than doing art on my iPad. And for my phone, I'm actually using Metabang Paint Pro. And yeah, this actually feels much more comfortable on my phone than on my iPad. Because my iPad is a much bigger screen, much higher resolution, and for my phone it's good for like quick little doodles. And in Metabang, the pens in it automatically have like a little bit of a pressure sort of like simulant to it, so the ends always have that little, that to it. I'm gonna try scribbling something real quick in here and see how it turns out. Alright, so it's not the greatest thing that I've ever drawn. It's just a quick little scribble. And honestly, I feel like it works better on my phone, and I feel like it'd be really, really good for like writing rather than drawing. Because, like I said, with drawing, it doesn't have the pen pressure needed to do really high quality things, like super detailed illustrations. Then again, you can also rely on the size of your pen. So like instead of keeping it at like 10, you can keep it at 1 to get those super tiny lines. But it's kind of inconvenient to have it like that. And this is advertised as a stylus, not a pen. So I can understand the lack thereof of pen pressure. But yeah, if you're just trying to find a cheap, good stylus to use, to start drawing, really, like if you only have your phone, only have your iPad, this is a really good starting beginner's pen to use just to get used to doing digital art. Because from what I see, it works fine, it just doesn't have pen pressure. And on here, it's a little bit off focus, but that's honestly just my phone. Like, no matter if I use this or the stylus that's already part of my phone, it's always a little bit off. But on my iPad, it was really perfectly calibrated. It didn't have jumping lines or anything, like I've seen other styluses have issues with. So this is honestly a really good stylus to use if you want to start doing very simple, basic digital art while, like, on a mobile device. So, overall, rating this as like a beginner's tool, I'd give it 5 stars because it feels very nice and very comfortable in my hands. It's got a very, very nice blue glow to it. It looks white on the screen, I know. It comes with a backup end, which I really wish that my Apple Pencil came with, because I lost and broke mine like 2 years ago, and I have never been able to get replacement for it. But yeah, overall, it's a good, cheap pen, and it's only for $20 on Amazon, so like, if your birthday's coming up, I know Father's Day's coming up, you should probably get this pen, because it's cheap and it works really well despite it being so cheap. So that's all I really have to say about it. I'm probably gonna use this more in the future, honestly, especially for doing like quick little like handwritten things on my iPad in case if like my Apple Pencil isn't charged or I eventually do lose it someday, because like I said, it falls out all the time. So thank you for listening to me ramble. That's about it. Goodbye.